So, hello, my dear students, and welcome back to your digital classroom. Today, in this episode, we'll be taking our Merchant of Venice Act 3 scene 2 a bit further from line number 234. Now, we already know that Salerio has handed over a letter to Bassanio. Today, in this episode, we need to find out what's the reason behind it, what's the content of the letter, and many more other things. So, let's begin. Bassanio, ere I ope his letter, I pray you, tell me how my good friend doth. Salerio, not sick, my lord, unless it be in mind, nor well, unless in mind. His letter there will show you his estate. So, you can underline ere and write before. Ope is open. His letter referred to as Antonio's letter. Good friend referred to as Antonio. Doth is. Done? Okay. Then it be in mind, underline and write it is in his mind. His letter referred to as Antonio's letter. Estate is condition, or in bracket you can write financial fortunes. Done? So, what Bassanio says here? Bassanio says, before I open his letter, I would like to know how my good friend is doing, or what is the condition of my good friend Antonio. So Salerio says, not sick, my lord, unless it be in mind. What he's telling, he's not sick, my lord, unless it is in his mind. And then he says, nor well, unless in mind. He says that, but he's not well too, unless in his mind. His letter there will show you his estate. Salerio says that his letter here will show you his state of affairs, that is his condition and his financial affairs. Now understand, what does Salerio mean by not sick, my lord, unless it be in mind? He says that Antonio has no illness unless it be a mental trouble. On the other hand, he can have no cause for happiness except in his mind. Graciano, Nerissa, cheer yon stranger, bid her welcome. Your hand, Salerio, what's the news from Venice? So Graciano says Nerissa to welcome Jessica. Now here, her is referred to as Jessica. Correct? Your hand, Salerio, means Graciano asked Salerio to give his hand for a handshake. And then he asked, what's the news from Venice? How doth that royal merchant, good Antonio? I know he'll be glad of our success. We are the Jasons, we have won the fleece. So underline doth and write is. He referred to as Antonio. Our success getting their beloved ones. Jasons, underline right, adventurous suitors. Done? Okay. So first Graciano asks, how is royal merchant Antonio? He says that he'll be glad to hear our success. Now what is the success? It is getting their beloved ones. That is, Bassanio has got Portia and Graciano has got Nerissa, and he referred to as Antonio. We are the Jasons, we have won the fleece. Jasons refer to as adventurous suitors. Remember in Act 1, Scene 1, how Bassanio had described Portia by saying that many Jasons come in quest of Portia. Correct? So here, these people are referred as Jasons. That means Bassanio and Graciano. Got it? So we refer to as Bassanio and Graciano. We have won the fleece. Won the fleece, it's a kind of a gold. But here the reference is Portia and Nerissa. So students, I hope that you people remember the reference of Jason way back in Act 1, Scene 1, when Bassanio, while describing Portia, had mentioned him. Now, Jason, a famous hero, went on for a dangerous voyage along with his companion. For the search of golden fleece, he had taken many dangerous challenges, and ultimately, with the help of his wife, he had won it. Similarly, here Bassanio has taken so many difficult tasks underway, and then finally he has won Portia. Even Graciano has travelled along with Bassanio, and his fortune supported him. He too won Nerissa. This is why he refers to that particular word, Jason, as well as golden fleece. Now, meanwhile, Salerio gives a very sharp comment by telling, I wish you had won the fleece that he had lost. Now, fleece here refers to gold or wealth. Keep that thing in mind. Got it? Portia. There are some shrewd contents in yon same paper that steals the color from Bassanio's cheek. Some dear friend dead, else nothing in the world could turn so much the constitution of any constant man. What worse and worse? With leave, Bassanio, I am half yourself, and I must freely have the half of anything that the same paper brings you. So what Portia is telling here? Portia is telling here there are some shrewd contents in yon same paper. That means, underline shrewd and write harsh or unpleasant. Yon referred to as that. Paper is letter from Antonio. So Portia is telling there are some harsh contents in that letter that steals the color from Bassanio's cheek, that takes away the color from Bassanio's cheek. Some dear friend dead. So what Portia is assuming, that maybe some dear friend or a friend who was very close to Bassanio has passed away, or else nothing in the world could turn so much the constitution of any constant man. So what Portia is telling here? Portia is telling here, if it is not any dear friend's death, nothing else in this world can fade away Bassanio's complexion. That means she's terming here Bassanio as a constant man, underline constant man, and you can write man of firm nerves, or a person who is so normal in nature. Got it? Could turn so much the constitution, you can underline and write fade away Bassanio's complexion. Got it? So what Portia is telling, if it is not any dear friend's death, nothing can change Bassanio's complexion. Got it? Okay. Next, what worse and worse? Now the facial color and expression was fading away constantly. Then she interrupts and says, with leave, underline right, with your permission, means with Bassanio's permission, I am half yourself. Remember the old proverb, your better half? In the same manner, she's telling here, I am half yourself. That means I am your other half, and I must freely have the half of anything that this same paper brings you. She says that I must freely know, and I am ready to consume the half of anything that this same paper brings you. This also depicts the intense love that Portia had for Bassanio. So got it? So overall it is, when Bassanio started reading this particular letter, his facial expression and color started changing. And then Portia wanted to know what was the content. Bassanio, oh sweet Portia, here are a few of the unpleasant words that ever blotted paper. Gentle lady, when I did first impart my love to you, I freely told you all the wealth I had ran in my veins. I was a gentleman. And then I told you true, and yet, dear lady, rating myself at nothing, you shall see how much I was a braggart. So, students, it's time for a quick summary and confession from Bassanio's end. Bassanio had already confessed Portia that he was a man of zero financial value and he was a bankrupt, but he now wants to confess something more. Meanwhile, he realizes that he had become selfish while trying a hand at the lottery of castles. So, let's check out. So what Bassanio says here? Bassanio says here, oh sweet Portia, here are a few of the unpleasant words that ever blotted paper. It means here are few of the most unpleasant words that were ever written on paper. Few spoiled words that were ever written on paper. Gentle lady, when I did first impart my love to you, I freely told you all the wealth I had ran in my veins. So what he says that gentle lady refers to Portia. When I first gave my love to you, I freely told you. That means I honestly told you. What did he say honestly? That all the wealth that I had ran in my veins. You can underline ran in my veins and you can write was in my blood. Next, I was a gentleman and then I told you true underline, right? Truth. And yet, dear lady, rating myself at nothing, you shall see how much I was a braggart. Now see what he says here. Yet, Portia, even rating myself as zero, you shall see how much I was bragging in the sense boasting of my position. So it's a real confession from Bassanio's end that he was boasting of his position. You can underline rating myself at nothing. You can underline and write valuing my wealth. Braggart is a person who boasts about his position. When I told you my state was nothing, I should then have told you that I was worse than nothing. For indeed, I have engaged myself to a dear friend, engaged my friend to his mere enemy to feed my means. Here is a letter, lady. So now the confession comes from Bassanio's side. He says, when I told you my state was nothing, I should then have told you that I was worse than nothing. State, you can underline and write financial position or fortune. Worse than nothing, you can underline and write less than nothing. So Bassanio says that when I told you or when I confessed you that I had nothing, I should then and there have told you that I had less than nothing. This is why it has been signified as worse than nothing. Got it? Okay. For indeed, I have engaged myself to a dear friend. Now, be careful about the reference questions from here. Now, see, I have engaged. You can underline engaged and write bound or indebted. INDEBTED. Indebted myself to a dear friend. Dear friend referred to as Antonio. Got it? Okay. Engaged my friend to his mere enemy. Now, to feed my means means to get my resources or to get the money. Money referred to as that 3,000 ducats. I have engaged myself to a dear friend. This is the first point. That is, I have engaged myself to Antonio. Then second point, engaged my friend, that is Antonio, to his mere enemy. Mere enemy referred to as greedy and notorious enemy referred to as Shylock. Correct? So 3 points should be very clear to you people. That is, dear friend referred to as Antonio. First he has engaged himself to Antonio, then engaged Antonio to greedy Shylock. Why? Just to get his resources or to get the money. This is your third point. Here is the letter, lady. The paper as the body of my friend, and every word in it a gaping wound, issuing lifeblood. But is it true, Salerio? Hath all his ventures failed? What, not one hit? From Tripolis, from Mexico and England, from Lisbon, Barbary and India, and not one vessel escaped the dreadful touch of merchant marine rocks? Bassanio then says to Portia that here is a letter. The paper is like the body of my friend, that is Antonio. Got it? The paper is like the body of Antonio, and every word in it a gaping wound. It seems that every word written in it is bleeding heavily. Got it? Then issuing lifeblood, underline and write, discharging his lifeblood. Got it? But is it true, Salerio? Now he asks Salerio that, is it true that all the ventures, all the business that Antonio had failed, or not even one ship that sailed from Tripolis? You should know the places: Tripolis, Mexico, England, Lisbon, Barbary and India. Not even one ship reached the shore and attained success. And then the last two lines, and not one vessel escaped the dreadful touch of merchant marine rocks. What he says, not even one vessel that the rich cargoes and the ships were carrying could escape the dreadful touch of merchant marine rocks, that is, rocks that ruin merchants, got it, by wrecking their ships. Valerio, not one, my lord. Besides, it should appear that if he had the present money to discharge the Jew, he would not take it. Never did I know a creature that did bear the shape of man, so keen and greedy to confound a man. He plies the Duke at morning and at night, and doth impeach the freedom of the state. If they deny him justice, 20 merchants, the Duke himself, and the magnificos of greatest sport have all persuaded with him, but none can drive him from the envious plea of forfeiture of justice and his bond. So what Salerio says here? First, Salerio confirms not even one ship has come back to the shore, and then he adds on, besides, it should appear that if he had the present money to discharge the Jew, he would not take it. So first information, you can mark it as number 1. It seems that if Antonio had the present money, the money available, that is the 3,000 ducats, to discharge the Jew, that is to give the Jew, he referred to as Shylock. See, it's in capital H-E. You can underline, right? Shylock. Shylock would not take it. Got it? So it seems that even if Antonio had the money right now, the amount of 3,000 ducats to pay the Jew, that is Shylock, he would not take it. Then he says, never did I know a creature that did bear the shape of a man, so keen and greedy to confound a man. So what Salerio says? He says that never I have seen a man who bears the shape of man, but he's desperate to destroy a man. That means a person who himself is a man wants to destroy another man. Got it? So he says, never did I know a creature that was shaped like a man and so eager and greedy, desperate enough to destroy another man completely. Next, he plies the duke at morning and at night, and doth impeach the freedom of the state. If they deny him justice, what Salerio says, that Shylock urges or requests or makes petitions to the duke morning and night, and he even challenges the freedom of the courts if they deny him justice. What is Salerio telling? Salerio is telling that Shylock has got such powers that he now has started urging for his bond, and he has started questioning the law in Venice. If they deny him justice, it will be worse of the situations. Next, 20 merchants, the Duke himself, and the magnificos of greatest ports have all persuaded with him, but none can drive him from the envious plea of forfeiture of justice and his bond. Now what he says that 20 merchants, the Duke himself, and noblemen of greatest reputations from different ports, they all have tried to persuade Shylock, to convince Shylock, but no one can drive him from his bitter request that he has of having his bond, having his forfeiture, having his justice. Got it? So you need to understand this very properly, that Shylock has started troubling everyone there present in the court. Got it? The officials who belong to the court, that now I need my bond, I don't need any amount of money. So many people have tried to convince Shylock, but they could not drive him from the bitter request of having his bond, forfeiture and justice. Students, that's all for today, but remember one thing, this particular part is very important for reference question, line explanation, and to pull you back to the other scenes that you had already learned earlier in your class 9. But keep one thing in mind, my dear students, you should know the text very properly, then only you can answer questions like what happened just after this, what do you mean by this particular reference. So many things are there. It is only possible when you read the text properly. So that's all for today. We'll see you next week, same day, same time. Till then, goodbye.